Hello. I'm here with Dean Santa, and we're going to be talking about the most recent episode of Shameless.
How you doing, y'all?
How you doing, y'all? Question 1. Carl literally throws himself in jail in this episode to improve his reputation in the neighborhood. Do you think his motives were true, or were there ulterior motives to this idea?
Well, definitely is sort of concerned about his street credit and about messing things up with the dealer that he just screwed over for a large amount of drug money. But I think it's more actually related to his family and the way things have been going recently with Ian and Lip not being around as much. I think he's trying to get away from things.
I'm very interested to see how Chucky and Carl both deal with being in juvie.
Together, yeah.
We saw that they became part of 2 completely different groups on the bus ride there, and we'll see how that turns out. I don't know. I feel like Chucky's not going to make it. I know Chucky has less time, but I feel like he's not going to make it. Chucky seems like the underdog.
Gonna get raped in the butt.
Maybe. I mean, you really didn't have to say that. I'm probably going to have to cut that out now. But anyway, moving on.
Sorry. Deal with it.
Next. Ian continues to demonstrate his symptoms of bipolar disorder in this episode and takes it too far. Why do you think he's refusing to treat himself? How do you think this is affecting his relationship with Mickey?
Well, he's definitely in denial. Still. Does not want to admit that he has a problem. And slowly, as his symptoms are getting worse, he's starting to come to terms with it. I think that Mickey himself is having a hard time coming to grips with things. Dealing with, having a boyfriend that has a mental health issue, and that's completely foreign to him. He's never had to deal with anything like that before.
No.
So this is a very unique situation for both of them, and they're both trying to come to grips with what this actually means for both of them.
Mm-hmm. I think, not that it's helping their relationship, but I think they're growing together as a couple. And I think that's like the silver lining. I mean, yes, Ian's dealt with a lot in his life, and I feel like he knows better, but this is about him for once. He's never really had to deal with himself in this kind of situation, and now that he does, it's too much for him to handle. But Mickey is learning how to treat others, how to take care of others instead of worrying about himself and how he's going to make it through something this difficult. And I feel like he's really showing his emotions more. Because in the beginning of the series, he was a very closed off macho man.
Yeah.
And he's become kind of a softie now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, next question. Even though Fiona has broken things off with Jimmy /Steve Jack, sorry. And
another name now, too.
He has a 4th name. I wouldn't be surprised if
Is his next name going to be Jerry?
I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes Jerry, and then Gary, and Larry, and possibly Terry.
But anyway, continue.
Anyway, and now she's married to Gus. Do you think she still has feelings for her boss, though?
I think she definitely still does. But she is not completely clear herself on how she feels. And she's still playing it moment to moment, as things happen. How her feelings are at that very moment determine the way she's going to act.
Mm-hmm.
So anything could change in this situation.
I definitely think Gus was the wrong move. I don't think she should have been so quick to get married when she didn't even know the guy that well. And she knew that there was a possibility of still being in love with Jimmy and still having feelings for her boss.
Yeah.
But now Debbie has a minor role in this episode. What do you think she's going through?
I think she doesn't really know what is going on with each of her family members because they are all going through their own problems right now. You know, Fiona is still undecided about her whole relationship. Lip is away. Ian is dealing with his mental problems. And now you have Carl off in juvie too. So she's the only Gallagher left that's not dealing with a serious life issue at the moment.
Yeah, at the moment. I feel like Debbie's us, basically. Like, we watch everybody else and their own stories, and Debbie's just, like, in the background, just, like she's watching them, we're watching them, too. Like, I feel like she's us in the audience. I feel like she's sitting on that couch with us.
I mean, to an extent,
9 p.m.
but
Sunday
did you have a
nights.
baseball bat swing at you?
No. That was not...
Yeah.
I had an Easter basket swung at me,
she's
but that
a
was
little
different story.
more susceptible to injury than we are. So
hey, I'm pretty injured by that Easter basket, man. Circa 2002, I don't even remember, but that was pretty traumatic for me. Anyway, next question. What do you think's gonna happen with Lip? You know, he's with this professor now, and she turns out to be married. But apparently that's not an issue with her and her husband.
well, I mean, anything could happen in Lip's story, as we saw in that episode. He has been struggling to get his bill together to pay off college, and has been given a interest-free loan from a private benefactor who is an alumni of the school he's attending. So, if something as beautiful and, you know, fortunate as that can happen, it's not surprising that he'd fall into a situation like this.
It was very predictable. I called it.
Yeah.
I mean...
No, you definitely did while we were watching it. You predicted it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested to see where this goes. I feel like this teacher just has a very open relationship with her husband and doesn't really, neither of them really seem to care what happens.
Well, I mean, he's obviously busy. He came
Yeah.
back from some kind of extended trip. So, I mean, when you are in a relationship with somebody like that, and there is distance,
You know what else I'm thinking?
things can be different.
There's a possibility that one of them just married the other to get a green card. And, I mean, that's unlikely.
I mean, it is possible. We've
We're
seen it before
taking-
in Shameless.
We're-
But I don't really think that's the case in this scenario.
We're, like, we seem
Highly unlikely.
to be combining Parks and Recreation with Shameless right now.
Well, I mean, that was actually previous on Shameless.
When? I don't remember that.
Jimmy came home with the girl in season 3.
Oh, right. I remember
What was her
that.
name? I can't remember.
I don't even remember.
Something
She
Spanish.
was irrelevant.
Yeah, but my point is that it has already happened in the show. I don't think they would revisit
That's true.
so similar of a plot
That's
story.
True. I actually forgot about her.
Yeah,
Her name's Stefania, by the way.
Stefania. That's right. But yeah,
She's
I
not-
really don't foresee them making
No.
that plot move again.
Now that you say it. No, I don't think they do that again. It may just be a very open marriage.
Yeah.
Next. Frank and Bianca. Interesting pair in this episode. Now,
Yep.
What do you think? Do you think this is just another one of Frank's ways to move into a house for a while, have an actual bed and actual food and whatnot, and, you know, take advantage of this girl? Or do you think he feels bad for her? You know, he was pretty close to death himself, and he cheated it, and you have this girl who's 30, 32 years old, just starting her life, and she's about to die. She's got really hardly a chance of living.
I mean, anyone who knows Frank, the way viewers of the show know Frank, knows that this is clearly another way for Frank to get by, to get what he needs, money, a place to sleep, whatever the case may be. But on the surface, below the surface, I think there is a bit of an emotional connection, attachment to this woman because of the fact that she's struggling with coming to grips with, inevitable death in the same way that Frank was just a season ago. And I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see which of those feelings wins out in this relationship, whether he does succumb to just taking what he needs from her, or if he does show true, care, true emotion for her, and sticks around for the real reasons.
Interesting. It's gonna be. Well, we're on. What this was what episode 9?
Yeah.
Season's probably almost over. No.
I would say halfway through.
Halfway through.
My guess.
I would agree.
Usually 12 or 16 episodes.
Yeah.
Is what I would say is about average.
Wow. So it's very interesting to see where this is gonna go. Who knows?
Definitely.
Who knows what can happen?
Anything could happen. Flying tiger, octopus could eat them all.
Yeah. Who knows? Well, thank you for your time.
My time is valueless.
It's a pleasure speaking with you.
I'd do it any time because my time is valueless.
See you again Sunday when we watch the next episode of Shameless.
I guess so.